letting the car pass. Yeah, extremely loud this morning. What is up, hammerheads? Welcome back to the forge. Today we're making a grease lamp. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so today in part one, we're going to be making the trough for our grease lamp. This is where your oil will go back here, and then you will put your wick in, and we'll have a flame about this high. And once we get it made, I'll actually show it working at the end of the video today, so you get a good idea of how it's supposed to look. You'll see in the comments, guys, that I have put a PDF file for a template for your grease lamp. Now, this was the first time that I ever did this. So if for some reason you print yours off and your teardrop is like 9 inches, like, you know, 9 inches, 10 inches long, like this one is one of my first copies I printed off, and you can see the big difference in how tall they are. If you would like yours to be that big, that's fine. But generally you're looking for about 7.5 to 8 inches from top to bottom of your grease lamp on your length. It can be a little wider. I didn't measure the width. Give me a second on the widest point. I'll give you a rough idea. We're not going exact. About 4 inches, 3 1/4 to 4 inches across. So that's roughly what you're looking for, guys, for your grease lamp. Now, with all that being said, let's talk about what a grease lamp is. A grease lamp was a colonial style lamp. As I was saying, that oil will go here, and then you had a wick of some kind, and then it would make a flame about this big. I'm going to go ahead and put some oil in this so it'll be soaking up into the wick, and at some point in the video I'll actually light it and you guys can see it work. But let's start dishing this out. A tool you will need, if you don't have, is a ball peen hammer. And try to get one that has a very round head, and about, this one's I think this one's a 4-ounce size. You can be a little bigger, a little smaller. You don't want like a massive, huge hammer, but something about this size, y'all guys can see, about 4 ounces, 4 to 6 ounce hammer will do everything you need it to do for this. We're going to be doing some of the forging cold, but we're going to be doing a lot of it hot. Because you can work hard in your material and it'll crack, and you don't want a leaky grease lamp. It'll set the cabin on fire. So I'm gonna get the forge lit. We're gonna get some material hot and start forging this out, guys. All right, guys, if you have a swage block, this is a lot easier to do. I'm going to do the majority of every bit of this with the ball peen, but all I'm doing is dishing this out. I move it around. Closing this up. Now, I'll admit, guys, I'm not a sheet metal worker, but I do enjoy making these. So that's so far where we're at with it. I'm going to heat it back up, and it just takes a second to heat this up, guys. On a note that I want you to really think about, once you print this template off, I want you to transfer it onto a piece of like wood or a piece of metal, so you'll always have that template. And then all you do is just just trace around it with a Sharpie once you cut it out. And it's slowly starting to take its shape, guys. Now I have a swage block and I have all the tools, but I wanted to show you what you can do with just an anvil and a hammer, getting everything dished out. And it might take a little bit longer to get it dished out exactly the way you want it. That's the reason why I want to do this in a two-part video, guys, is because the first time I dished one of these out by hand, it took a minute. One thing that I used also is if you have a log or a stump, you can drill you out or cut you out an indention of like a little bowl, and that works out really good. Alright guys, I'm gonna flip around and I'm gonna start working on this end. Now, if your anvil like mine does not have a porch on it, I'm gonna go over to Jay's anvil and I'm gonna start tapping this, which is gonna be where your wick would lay, and start shaping it out also. Guys, if you don't have a porch on your anvil, and I'm just using my cross peen, I have to make an adjustment on how we got this set up. Anyways, if you don't have a porch that you can make this trough in on an anvil, open up your vise a little bit and put you a piece of round bar there and tap around it. You got to get creative. Sometimes you got to think outside the box. Getting everything straightened up and lined up. Well, I will say one good thing with the sheet metal, guys, is it's pretty forgiving. If you mess up, something's not dishing right, you can flatten it back out, heat it back up. On this side. Here's this side. You can see how our trough is forming. And it really is just a tap it around till you get it where the depth you want it. Use your hardy hole if you have to. Get a little bit more heat on that, guys. Notice I am not just welling on this extremely hard. I'm tapping. You don't want to just go to town beating the snot out of this. Almost the shape. We got two corners right here that are acting up. That's about what I'm looking for, guys. That one ain't too far. Now you can clean out the hammer marks in this, but I kind of like them. There we go. This cold morning, metal's not wanting to move like it should. But right there, guys, roughed out grease lamp. Turn the camera a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. Roughed out grease lamp. Now I'm gonna let it cool. I'm not gonna quench it because I'm gonna have to drill some holes. Guys, I didn't really like part of this, so I brought it over here to the vise so I can dish it just a little bit deeper. And yep, I'm doing this cold. You can with sheet metal, it's forgiving. But just keep going in a circle as you're working it. Yeah, I like that a lot better. A little bit deeper. That's what I was looking for. Just gotta cut down that side. As I've said many times, guys, use what you have, make it work. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Got a little bit deeper. Grab my cross peen. Make this trough just a little bit deeper. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Right there, guys. What's your rough idea what you're looking for right there, guys? Now you. All right, guys, let's get real for a minute and talk about what we learned today. Well, making a grease lamp. When you're dishing this out, it will fight with you the whole time, and you can see it right here. Let me see. See how it flattened down? Unless you have something fairly round, like, let me grab the hammer and I'll just show you. Over here on my swage block, I have a mold for a spoon. Come along with me. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of kind of confusion. But if you look right here, guys, right there, I have this spoon, and this is really what I use a lot of times whenever I'm making these to shape them, okay? But just keep working at it and look around your shop. You might have something that you never thought would work will work out on dishing these out, okay? So this back will fight with you like crazy trying to get it dished, but just keep it slow and steady. You might be able to get one of those lead bags like what they use for sheet metal work. I won't raise you up, guys. You can look at the wall for a second. I'll bring you back over here. Y'all can see my pretty face for a second. But as I was saying, you might be able to get you one of those lead bags from Harbor Freight or somewhere that sells some basic sheet metal supplies. I'll let that burn for a minute. Sorry, I was gonna blow that out, but I need it for a photo. Let's see, there we go. But sorry guys, ADD kicked in again. Like I was saying, you can pick up like a leather bag or one of the lead shot bags, or make one that a lot of people use for sheet metal work to help form this. Swage block works amazing. On the other side, I have what's called like a bowl mold where you can shape out a bowl, which works out really well for rounding this. Or just take your time, use your hardy hole on your anvil, use your vise as you were seeing. You know, there's tons of things you can do that helps you think outside the box or make something. You can take a piece of pipe, cut it, round out the edges, and then clamp it in a vise or weld on something, you know, a stake on the bottom so you can have it on the anvil. There's a ton of things that you can do to make your tools. I wanted to show the basics on what I had just lying around the shop without really using the swage block. I just want to show you at the end that you can do the dishing out process. Now, what did we learn from the dishing out process? Well, making a grease lamp, once you learn how to dish a piece of material out and make this concave section, well, that opens up your doors of making ladles and spoons, even on a bigger scale, fire pits. You know, you can dish out a piece of sheet metal on the inside and make it into a fire pit, or frying pans, bowls, pots. I mean, it opens up a door of possibilities all the way around. So learning this basic process of just dishing out for a grease lamp teaches you so many other things you'll be able to make. So guys, this video, I really wanted to focus on just the dishing out process of your material. The next video, we're going to be making your support arm, your swivel, and your mount, where it will stab into the wall. And this is where your forge weld will come in handy. Or if you haven't watched how to forge weld, I've been over a basic forge weld video where I bend a piece of metal over to make this poker end. Watch it. If you're not able to forge weld just because of your setup or abilities or anything, then watch the rivet video. And I'm probably going to do the rivet in the video. I don't know. I really like how that turned out. So that will be the next video coming up. We will be making these parts and doing a forge weld. I might do them both just so you see both processes again. But guys, that is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you on the next one. God bless. Keep hammering. That's what your grease lamp will look like. Let me get in here close, guys. You got your trough holding the oil in the back, and then it runs a flame up about that tall. Now, depending on what kind of oil you use is how clean it'll burn. From a good friend of mine, Lonnie Farmer, who taught me how to make these and do a lot of colonial lighting. Bacon grease splatters and spits and does all kinds of stuff, but this is a vegetable oil and it burns fairly clean. And like I said, it makes a flame, a little bit taller flame, and it all depends on your wick size also, guys.